Welcome to the audiobook The Lycan Prince's Gift, TLPG, Princes of Anan 1, by Selena. A planet unknown to creatures of the earth harbor mythical beings of different species, but the dominant ones are the lycans. Beings of great strength, agility, speed, immortality have been given the greatest gift of all, the gift of the mate bond. Narrated by Jessica. Prologue and Characters. Anan, a planet unknown to creatures of the earth, harbor mythical beings of different species, but the dominant ones are the lycans. Beings of great strength, agility, speed, and immortality have been given the greatest gift of all, the gift of the mate bond. The royal families rule this world. The king and queen of Zhanton, through their 500 years of leadership, gave birth to 3 children. Prince Mika, their first child, Prince Dominique, their second, and Prince Lucien, their last. The first prince of Zhanton is known to be as whorish as they come, and is blessed by the moon goddess with the gift of fire. The third prince, outgoing and calm as he is, the gift of water. Now the second prince is so closed off that only a few even know his face, and his gift is unknown to all, even to the prince himself. But far from the palace, far from the life of royalty, far from the princes, is a broken, poor, helpless, and self-proclaimed insignificant female, whose path will cross with a prince in an unforeseen circumstance that will light the whole of Zhanton ablaze. But after 3,000 years, history threatens repeating itself in bringing Anan to its knees. The survival of the supernatural's planet now depends on an unsuspecting female and her clueless prince. Warning, this book is full of suspense in the middle part, so try not to get your panties in a twist. Kingdoms of Anan. Zhanton, Kingdom of Lycans. Erin, Kingdom of Werewolves. Redon, Kingdom of Fays. Main characters: Xena Lucien, Queen of Zhanton. Alec Lucien, King of Zhanton. Eldridge Lucien, King of Erin. Adrian Lucien, King of Redon. Mika Lucien, First Prince of Zhanton. Dominique Lucien, Second Prince of Zhanton. Lucien, Third Prince of Zhanton. Adonai, Chief of the Silver Fays. Olivia, Adonai's mate. Inanna, Olivia and Adonai's daughter. Adara, Inanna's sister. Deva, Olivia's mother. Cinna, Olivia's little sister. Alan, Olivia's second mate. Claire, Inanna's friend. Lois, Inanna's friend. Leo, Inanna's friend. Jared, Inanna's friend. Uma, seer. My books. The Lycan Prince's Gift, Book 1 of Princes of Anan. A Mate in 2, Book 2 of Princes of Anan. You Had Your Chance. The Dream Book. Mama. Come on, Mama. The store will close for the day. I drag my extremely amused mother through the busy road. We've been taking a stroll through the market under the bright warm sun since sunrise, and I'm still super hyped. We just finished buying some foodstuffs for the house, enough to last us a week, but my mind has been overflowing with different ideas for the beaded jewelries we make for her store. And she just won't walk faster. She's clearly entertained by how excited I am. I mean, can you blame me? If we don't get to the shop for the beads, they'll close the store. And my mind won't let me rest until I have brought that idea to life. It's not even past noon, Inna. I'm sure we can take our time and enjoy a little bit of fresh air. I ignore her, and it only makes her chuckle, but she follows my lead anyway. At Grandma Lucy's shop, I can't stop the smile that arrests my lips and face as I behold pearls and beads of different sizes, colors, and shapes. Now tell me, Olivia, why is she so overactive? Did she take in too much sugar? Grandma Lucy asked Mama with clear amusement. That's what everybody calls her. At 1400 years, she's the oldest woman in 𝐿𝐼𝐅𝐓, but she refuses to stay put and let her children handle things. She says she has too much life in her to waste just lying down in her too noisy home. I ignore them and let my eyes feast on the pearls glistening under the sunlight. She says an idea is killing her and that I'm assisting in it murdering her if I don't get her the beads, Mama explains, making Grandma break into a fit of laughter. We leave Grandma's store after our purchase. I got some blue and pink beads along with lots and lots of seashells. Our house is by no means big. It's actually quite small and old and sometimes smelly. That is, after Papa drinks too many bottles of alcohol. But it's our home. Let's hurry with lunch before your father comes back. There's just a tiny flicker of fear in her eyes as she says this, but I ignore it, knowing perfectly well that speaking of it will do us no good. I'm also aware of the consequences if we fail to get lunch ready before Papa comes back. I nod and place the foodstuffs on the counter after we enter the house through the old front door. Mama and I maneuver our way in the small kitchen, taking care not to be too rough, since most of the appliances and utensils are old and can easily break. She takes care of the sauce, and I prepare the vegetable rice. We work in harmony, humming a lullaby she used to sing me as a child, but we sing it together this time around. We're done after a few minutes. Papa walks in just when we're setting the table. His presence makes the peaceful atmosphere run out of the open window, a tense one taking its place. Papa takes his seat at the head of the table. My heart beats in fear as I set the food in front of him with trembling hands, careful not to make any mistake. Mama and I are watchful of everything we do as we take our seats at the table. She is on his left and I on his right, all in silence. No one intends to break it. It's mostly like this every time we sit down to eat. The only difference is Papa is not drunk this time. He's completely sober. That in itself is a shocker. He's usually so drunk he passes out before touching the food. I don't know if it's because he has no money.
What is this?
There's obvious anger in his tone of voice.
Where's the meat in it?
My heart beats faster, trying to win a race against light, and sweat trickles down my forehead. I can't seem to stop my hands from vengefully shaking. That's all we could buy with the money I had. You didn't give us any. Mama mumbles, making sure not to look at him in the eye. We never do that. A slap echoes through the house, and Mama's head snaps to the left. I bit my lips to keep any comment I have at bay. I'll only make things worse if I talk.
You expect me to house you and your daughter and feed you as well?
He exclaims, eyes wild with anger. The chair falls down with a thud as he abruptly gets up. He holds Mama by the neck, then throws her against the wall. I try to push him away from her, but get punched in the process. Her cries of pain can be heard as he pierces her chest with his claws, drawing thick red blood from her. Please, Papa, don't hurt her! I shout out at the top of my voice, but my pleas are met with deaf ears as I watch my father, the man who is to love me unconditionally, beat the living daylight out of my Mama. I watch helplessly as her life source flows from her, through the cut across her chest. The pain and hopelessness intensifies in her eyes as she struggles to keep them open. At age 117, I'm still as weak as I was when I was 112. The only difference is that my black curly hair has grown to my waist length, but my skin is still as tanned as Mama's. Mama said I'm as pretty as Papa, but I don't understand her because I look nothing like him. She said I look exceptionally angelic with my purple eyes, which is a very unusual feature. I have been called a freak of nature because of my eye color, but I know they are wrong, because them being able to shapeshift makes them the most freakiest of nature. Doesn't bother me saying this because I can't shapeshift. My family and I live in 𝐿𝐼𝐅𝐓, the capital of Zhanton. Mama sells beaded jewelry, a trade I learned from her and enjoy doing too. As for Papa, he is unemployed. He feeds off the money Mama and I make from her trade, which is not much. He used to be a doting father to me, and a loving mate to Mama until I turned 112, the age all shifters are able to trade their skin with their beast fur, but had still not undergone this change. He started to hit Mama and I, saying all his efforts in raising another man's child has been put to waste. She says he's her second chance mate, after she lost her true mate in a battle with rogues. I run as fast as my wobbly legs will allow and push him with my small arms. I watch as he falls on his ass with a low thud beside our worn-out couch in the living room. Papa turns to me in fury, and I see a madman in his eyes. At this moment, I know that I have indeed lost the father who treasured me as a child, and panicked at the slightest pain he saw in my eyes.
You whore! You insignificant piece of trash! You are just like her!
He shouts, spittle flying from his mouth in his crazed state. It hurts me to hear these words from the man I have grown to call Papa. He runs into the kitchen and I let out a sigh of relief, thinking the torture session for the day has ended, that he will no longer return to hurt her. I then crawl to Mama's side whilst ignoring the pain in my body when I move. "Please don't close your eyes," are the words of desperation I cry out to the only being that loves me. The goddess Selena and the fates have already forsaken us, so I see no need to cry out to them. "Inna, my baby girl, please forgive your father," Mama whispers with a smile. She can deceive anyone with that smile, but not me. I see the pain in her eyes. I see how the simple act of talking and breathing feels like death to her. But how foolish and naive I was to think it is all over. Papa comes back holding a knife made of aged silver, with plastic as its handle so it doesn't burn him. How I wish the gates of hell would open and swallow him whole, that Hades himself would come for his soul. The man I now see is not my Papa. "No, please, I beg you, don't do this," I plead with tears-stained eyes and snot coming out of my nose. I ignore the headache all this crying is causing me. I ignore the stabbing pain in my heart and let him see the plea in my eyes and let him hear pain in my voice.
I've had enough of you. You look just like him. Don't look at me with those devilish eyes,
he exclaims in vexation. He doesn't see or hear my pleas. Anger and fury has clouded his eyes and made him blind to my pain. He hits my temple with the knife's handle. Pain explodes in my head and my vision gets blurry as I crash down beside Mama on the cold floor, all strength leaving me. Please, no," I whimper, not having the energy to speak from the throbbing pain in my head, not having the strength to even move my finger to reach out to her. My vision is tainted with black spots and my eyelids get heavy.
"No, you don't. You will open your eyes and watch,"
Papa says and slaps me across the face, but I can't feel the pain. Desperation is all I feel. I watch helplessly as he slowly pierced her heart with the knife, a pleased smile on his lips, and his sanity nowhere to be found. No, is the last thing that comes out of my mouth. That is the last word I will ever speak, the last plea I will ever make. I look on as the life drains from her eyes and the blood from her veins. I lose consciousness from exhaustion and pain, with Mama's lifeless eyes all I see. Goodbye. As a lycan with no beast, I am as worthless as the word itself. This is not something I had to be told to know. It is just a fact I have come to realize and accept. I'm aware that I have no purpose, that I'm too weak to be of use to anyone. So it's not something someone can say to hurt me, because it is as it is. The abuse, the heartache, and hatred from my father escalated to impossible heights, so much that I am numb to it all now. To pain, to joy, to heartache. I'm sure I'm even numb to numbness itself.
"Walk faster,"
Papa shouts as he pulls on the rope that binds my hand. He doesn't even turn to look at me, but I'm not hurt by that. After all, it is as it is, and nothing is going to change that. He seems to have gotten tired of me very quickly and is now on his way to the slave market, where my dearest Papa will sell me to pay off his debt. I didn't even get to say goodbye to Grandma Lucy, didn't get to say goodbye to Mama. They had her buried behind our house, per Papa's request. I don't even know why he still wants to torture her, even in death. He would go to her grave when he's drunk and insult her, spit on her grave, and even go as far as pouring alcohol on it, knowing fully well how she despised that liquid poison. I washed, I cooked, I cleaned, even took the reins of Mama's trade after she died. And the money, Papa used for gambling and purchasing more alcohol. Through it all, I felt nothing, said nothing. I still feel nothing. I have been cracked, but I'm certain I have not been shattered. I just thank Mama's spirit that Papa did not take my virtue. That would have been the end for me. The slave market is just like any regular market, but instead of people buying and selling foodstuffs, they buy and sell their fellow lycans, their daughters and sons. The slave market is the only place where only the rich and those with deep pockets can buy from. The slave traders say that the slaves they sell are remnants of war and have nowhere to go. So they are doing them good by giving them jobs and a place to call home. But we all know that is absolute bullshit. We all know that the slaves are stolen from their homes. Some are even being sold by their family and are not there by their own will. After Mama's death, or should I say murder, Papa reported that the house was attacked by rogues, so he went scot-free, receiving no punishment for his crimes. He was even given money to take care of his child, which he used to gamble and buy more alcohol. That seems to be the only thing he knows how to do well. I have not spoken a word since Mama's death 2 years ago. Why should I speak when my words will not be heard, when no one will act on my words, when no one will lend me their ears? I have no friend to pour out my heart to, no shoulder to cry on, no brother or sister to hold on to. I am alone in this world. Mama left me after she promised she wouldn't leave my side, after she said she will be my friend, after she said that she will be my sister. She left. Even with all this, I feel nothing. No pain, no sorrow, nothing at all. At age 200, I have still not met my soulmate. Not that I have ever left the house to get a chance to meet him or her, and neither am I looking forward to meeting them too. After all, no one can be as loyal, loving, and devoted to their mate as our history books say. It's all just a lie, a story made to deceive us. I'm not even sure if the goddess Selena and fate are real. It could all be lies. A lycan's mate is said to be the other half of their soul, the calm to their raging storm, the love of their life, the very reason for their existence, so they say. But I have seen it all. I have seen the deepest of love fall to shambles with nothing but sharp pieces left. "Here she is, now give me my money," I hear Papa say, pulling me out of my thoughts, and look at the slave trader. He's your literal bad guy with a pot belly, and seems to be quite shorter than me, which is a shock because the average height of a lycan is about 5 feet. He smells like cigar and alcohol. Now, with me having no beast, meaning I'm basically a human, being able to know that, I wonder how disgusting he will smell to one with a beast. He moves around me in circles, taking in my features with lustful eyes, which is unthinkable, because I am by no means beautiful. Even the word pretty is too good to describe me now. He seems to be shocked with my purple eyes, seeing as purple is not an eye color people see on this planet on a regular basis. But comparing now to when Mama was around, I have lost a lot of weight, seemingly bony. I'm looking more like a skeleton with a stretch of skin. "With some food and clothes, she could be presentable enough to be sold to the royal family next week," the man says, looking quite pleased with his new addition, and gives a gold bar to Papa in exchange for me. Why he pays with gold bars instead of cash is beyond me. As I watch Papa turn around to leave, with not even a last glance at me, the daughter he was once so proud of, I know that now I am much more insignificant than the dirt he walks on. I have shed enough tears that I don't even feel like crying as he walks away. "Look here, girl." he says, drawing my attention to him.
You are now my possession. Don't try to escape because you can't. It will only result in your death, and the sooner you get that through your head, the better. It'd be a shame to lose such a nice gal.
I don't respond and just follow as he leads the way, even though I'm tempted to do what he says I shouldn't, just so I can finally be with Mama and leave this cruel world behind.
I have had enough with people trying to get away,
he mumbles to himself.